Alhamdulillah, Islamic scholar joins us again this evening to answer any questions, any concerns, any comments you may have about the religion of Islam or life in general. Sayyidina, welcome once again to this evening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد. From grace and bounties, we thank him for his infinite and continuous bounties on us, and we seek from him to help us to be grateful, to help us to be thankful, and to help us to utilize all his bounties in his obedience. And we seek from Allah to grant us the obedience and the following for the Prophet and his holy progeny, Ahlebait, alayhi wa alayhim as-salat was-salam, and to keep us with the obedient servants of our divine Imam Al-Mahdi, Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Al-Sharif. We start this episode by remembering that the month of Dhul Qa'd, this month, is about to end in next week. We are starting next week the month of Dhul Hajjah. As you know, 25th of Dhul Qa'dah was Dahwul Ard. And for our brothers who are still in the daytime, we remind them that there is a recommended ghusl in the day of 25th of Dhul Qa'dah, Dahwul Ard, a ghusl recommended in the day of Dahwul Ard. So when we start the month of Dhul Hajjah, the first nights, 10 nights of Dhul Hajjah, from the first night till the 10th night, we remember that there is 2 rak'at namaz highly recommended to be performed between Maghrib and Isha. It is 2 rak'at. After every rak'at, after Al-Hamd, we recite, after Al-Hamd, we recite وَوَاعَدْنَا مُوسَى 30 ليلة وأتممناها ب10 فتم ميقات ربه 40 ليلة وقال موسى لأخيه هارون اخلفني في قومي وأصلح ولا تتبع سبيل المفسدين. These 2 rak'ats of Salah, if you perform it in the beginning first 10 nights of the Hajj, you will be getting the reward of the Hajis, as if you are performing Hajj in Baytullah Al-Haram. Bismillah.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, regarding are there any particular days or nights during which specific actions or supplications can be performed to seek an increase in financial sustenance?
Seeking more financial income, sustenance, barakat. We have got many Quranic verses, many recitations, many dua from the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt, and many dhikr for getting more sustenance. Not only in a specific time. If you want a specific time, then the best time to seek more sustenance is between Fajr till sunrise. between Fajr and sunrise every day. Don't sleep between Fajr and sunrise. Perform morning namaz and then start reciting dua, Quran, dhikr, supplication till sunrise. The best way to get more barakat, more sustenance, more lawful income is the time between Fajr and sunrise. We have gotten the hadith that it is more influential in getting more sustenance than any other work, any other effort. So be awake and be busy and remembering Allah between Fajr, the time of Azan of Fajr, and sunrise. This is number one. Number two, don't forget to recite Surah Yasin every day. And if you recite Surah Yasin and gift the reward of it to Imam Muhammad al-Taqi al-Jawad alayhi salam, you will get more reward and more blessings in your income. Surah Yasin, and gifting the reward of the reciting of Yasin to Imam Muhammad al-Jawad alayhi salam. Number three, reciting Surah Waqi'ah, al-Waqi'ah, which is إذا وقعت الواقعة, every night. Every night reciting Surah al-Waqi'ah is great in getting good income, peaceful, with respect and dignity. We have got hadith that any believer who recites Surah Al-Waqi'ah every night will never he will never face any financial difficulty whole of his life. That is authentic, 100%, according to the hadith from the Prophet. The well-known narration from Abdullah bin Mas'ud, when he was beaten by the people of Uthman, when he objected on the bad behavior of Muawiyah. So Muawiyah complained against Abdullah bin Mas'ud to his cousin brother Uthman. So the people of Uthman came to Abdullah bin Mas'ud and they insulted him and they have beaten him, despite being well-known companion. You see, a companion being beaten and insulted, and it is accepted because it was being done by order of Uthman. And now we are being accused that we are against all the companions, which is false. We are not against all of them. We are only against those who are bad, those who disobeyed the Prophet, those who did wrong after the Prophet. Anyway, so they accept what Uthman did in beating Abdullah bin Mas'ud. And Uthman stopped the salary of Abdullah bin Mas'ud. And Abdullah bin Mas'ud had no son. He had only daughters. So he was very poor, deprived from his own share from Baytul Mal. Then he became ill, and then seriously ill. Uthman was told that Abdullah bin Mas'ud is about to die. He went to see him, and a conversation took place between Uthman bin Affan, the king or the ruler or the caliph that time, And Abdullah Mas'ud, then Osman offered him. He told him, do you need anything from me? He said, no, from you, no. Nothing from you. Osman told him, shall I give you some money? Abdullah Mas'ud said, you deprived me from my own right when I was in need. And now when I'm dying, leaving this life, you are offering my right. I don't take from you anything. I will complain in front of Allah. So Uthman told him, at least let the money remain for your daughters, because he had no son. Abdullah Mas'ud said, my daughters don't need your money, because I heard the Prophet saying, anyone who recites Surah Al-Waqi'ah every night will never face poverty or need at all of his life, as far as he is reciting Surah Al-Waqi'ah every night. And I have taught my daughters to recite Surah Al-Waqi'ah every night. And that's exactly what happened. His daughters used to recite Surah Al-Waqi'ah every night, and Allah arranged for their income from unexpected sources. So one of the great things which are very useful in getting financial sustenance and removing away any possibility of financial crisis or difficulty or hardship is to recite Surah Al-Waqi'ah every night. This is number 3. Number 4, reciting Ziyarat Ashura every day. Ziyarat Ashura every day. Number 5, reciting
I believe there may have been a technical glitch right now where we've lost our Islamic scholar answering that question. So we'll wait for the technical team to
performing Salat al-Layl night prayer, including having good income with respect and dignity. Also, something very useful in getting more sustenance is to always pray for the mu'mineen who are in need. Not in front of them, between you and Allah. Pray for all the mu'mineen who are in financial hardship. Ya Allah, Allahumma aghni kulla faqir. Oh Allah, grant sustenance and wealth and good income to every believer who is in need. When you pray for the mu'mineen, the hadith says, الدعاء للمؤمنين في ظهر الغيب يهيل الرزق هيلا. When you pray for the mu'mineen, that will make your own income fall on you like rain, like heavy rain. So pray always for the mu'mineen who are in need. Number 7, go to your parents and seek their dua. If your parents are alive. If they are not alive, go to their grave or graves and pray near their graves, near the grave of your parents, or one of them or both of them, performing the ziyarat of your parents' grave and supplicating near the grave of your parents. That also has got great effect in more income and more barakat in this life. These are 7 points. We have got many other. In fact, there are whole books written in this subject. Many books written in this subject, but because of the limited time that we have, I have briefed only 7 points to be done whenever you can. And if you do these 7 points properly, I'm 100% confident that you will see the effect in your income and sustenance, inshallah ta'ala.
Thank you so much, Sayyidina, for that detailed, wonderful answer. Sayyidina, question. Me and my spouse are in a very delicate situation, living in a busy household, and are unable to have a proper privacy and space to form a routine. We have a baby now as well, but are so tired and unhealthy. How do you recommend we live in a busy household with other family members in a way where we can have a healthy marriage at the same time? What should both wife and husband do in this situation?
You see, when you are living with other family members, not alone, it depends on your wisdom and good management. When and where you can live your own private life. That is a matter of good management between you and your husband. As far as you are living with other family members, especially for those who are living with their parents or sisters or brothers, you must do your best to please your parents, or for example, the parents of your husband. If the person has come from a female, I mean, if the husband is living with his wife because his parents want him to be with them, so he should be with them. He should not break their hearts and leave them. Yes, it is not easy sometimes. Yes, but tolerating that and living with your parents for the sake of Allah and to make them always happy with you itself is a very good and noble work. But how to and when to live your own private life with your wife, that depends on your management, your wisdom. I cannot suggest anything. No one can suggest if he's not living with you. You are living in the house and you know when do they sleep and when they go out. And so it is a matter which you can decide. Main thing that you should never hurt the feelings of your parents. And you should try your best to live your own private life as much as you can. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, a related question, that there's a hadith you find, if you can correct me if I'm wrong. Do not make your family as your neighbors. Do not live in a house where the next door neighbors are your family, or where it's not recommended.
The line is not clear, please. The line is not clear. If you can request the technician to raise the sound, please. The line is not very clear.
Yeah. I think there's some technical issues.
The question, please, again.
Yes, yeah, it's right. The question is regarding, is there a hadith that says that do not make a family as your neighbors? Do not have your family as your neighbors. I mean, is there something that goes along those lines, not to have family as neighbors?
Means you should not put any burden on your family?
No, so you should not be living next door, for example, to your in-laws or your like close family members.
No.
Nothing like that.
No, we don't have such teaching that to leave your parents, especially when your parents want you to live with them. Nowadays, because of the Western lifestyle, majority of people, when they get married, they go away from their parents. But that is not the situation in the past. In the past, since the time of the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt, peace and blessing be upon him and them, many families used to live together. So it is not something recommended to leave your parents for the sake of your private life. Yes, it is good, but when your parents need you to live with them, when your parents want you to live with them, so put your parents first, then what you wish. Whenever your parents want you to be with them, don't let them down at all. I know most of people want to live their own life separately, away from their parents. But as far as your parents want you to be with them, then be with them and tolerate and be patient and do whatever you can do to make your parents happy and feel respected, and never leave them if leaving them can hurt their feelings.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, if pork is also sold and served in a restaurant, and halal meat is also sold and served, how is it to work in such a restaurant? Are you able to work in such a restaurant where pork and halal meat is sold?
Means a Muslim, is it permissible for a Muslim to work in a restaurant serving pork? The answer is Muslim is not allowed to cook or prepare or serve pork to anyone. Pork is a red line, like alcohol is a red line. Muslim is not allowed to work or serve or prepare or have anything to do with alcohol and also with pork. So if the restaurant, they say they serve halal meat and they serve pork as well, Muslim is not allowed, if he is responsible, to prepare or cook or serve pork. If they put him only on the halal department only, then that's okay. But if they give him a job of pork with the halal, that also is not permissible at all. The Muslim is not allowed to take any part in the pork in any way.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, is it true that the spider web that comes at home causes shortage of food? So can we kill a spider?
A spider or any insect, any insect which can be harmful, is it permissible for a Muslim to kill harmful insects or harmful animals? The answer is yes, it is permissible to kill any insect or any animal which can harm the human beings or his children or his family or children or other families, I mean children of neighbors. So in short, if the insect or the animal is harmful, then we are allowed to get rid of it even by killing it, only if it is harmful. But if it is not harmful, for example, if you see a cat inside your house and cat is not harmful, you can kick the cat out of your house if you want. but don't kill a cat, which is not harmful. So when the animal is not harmful, don't kill the animal. When the animal or the insect is harmful, then it is permissible to kill it. About the spider, in fact, what is called Baytul Ankabut, the place where the spider lives at home, that is makruh to be left at home. You should clean it out. Don't leave that net of the spider at home. We have got in the narrations that it brings poverty. That net of the spider at home, leaving it, that can bring poverty. Clean your house from the net of the spider.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina, for the answer. Assalamu alaikum. Sayyidina,
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
the prayer that has been qaza by us, will it be counted in the nawafil, or this qaza prayer will have to be offered separately?
The obligatory namaz which has been missed, we must perform it as qaza. Must. Even if we die, it remains on us. It should be performed as qaza after our death as well on our behalf. If you perform nawafil, you will get the reward of nawafil. But nafila cannot compensate the qaza namaz of the obligatory. Say if someone, God forbid, missed morning prayer, if he performs 1,000 rak'ats of recommended or nawafil, that will never compensate the 2 rak'at qaza of morning. Morning is wajib, obligatory. If it was missed, God forbid, we must perform it as qaza. We should not think that performing nawafil will make us free from performing the qaza of the missed obligatory namaz. Here we should also notice that one of the differences between namaz and fasting is this, that if someone has got qaza fast, say in the month of Ramadan, he traveled for 3 days, for example, and no fasting during the travel. So he must perform 3 days of qada of fasting. A person who has got qaza fast on him, is he permitted to perform sunnat qaza, sunnat roza fasting? Like today, Dahwul Ard, 25th of Dhul Qa'dah. 25th of Dhul Qa'dah, it is highly recommended to fast. Recommended to fast. If someone has got qaza of fasting on him, is he allowed to fast and recommended fast? The answer is no. No recommended fasting if there is a qaza of fast, obligatory fast. That is in fasting. In namaz, if someone has got on him qaza namaz, is he permitted to perform sunnat namaz? The answer is yes. So, in fasting, no. No recommended fasting as far as there is qaza fast. In namaz, we are allowed to perform sunnat namaz, like namaz al-shab, nawafil, any sunnat namaz, even if qaza namaz is on us, God forbid. So this is one of the differences between namaz and fasting. Very shortly, that qaza namaz must be performed in any way, and we cannot compensate performing qaza namaz by performing sunnat namaz, because it is completely different. Nothing will remove or clear our responsibility from qaza namaz, nothing at all, but performing that qaza namaz.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, we Shias often pray like this: May the Lord give you no sorrow except the grief of Imam Hussain. Is this true? And why do we pray for the grief of Imam Hussain, since this is the great sorrow for the people of Ahlebait?
The line is not clear. Please repeat
yes,
the question, please.
So that the Shias pray, they say that may the Lord give you no sorrow except the grief of Imam Hussain. Is this true? And why do we pray for the grief of Imam Hussain, since this is a great sorrow for the people of Ahlul Bayt?
I'm sorry, still the line is not clear. We Shia say that.
We say that may God give us no sorrow except the grief of Imam Hussain. Is this true?
Okay.
And why do we pray for that grief?
Okay, yeah, it is good. After all, because usually in the usual life of people meet many situations of sadness, sorrow, for losing money, losing a beloved one, or for any difficulty. We pray to Allah Ta'ala to avoid us all reasons of sorrow except the grief on Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Yes, that is very good dua. That is dua of safety and protection from any reason of sadness or sorrow. And may Allah keep our sorrow only and only on the tragedies of Imam Hussain and Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. So that is a good dua, very good dua of protection from the causes of sorrow, except the sorrow on Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, I have heard that when you go for the visit, the ziyarah of any imams, before you enter the haram, you pray the entry dua, the izn dukhul. Even if you enter Imam Hussein's haram, for example, 5 times a day, do you have to pray the entry namaz each time? Like 5 times if you visit the haram, do you need to recite izn dukhul every single time?
Usually 1 time should be enough. 1 time should be enough. It is permissible to enter the same haram. If you go and come and you come inside the haram repeatedly, 1 time should be enough. If you want to recite the izn dukhul, means permission to enter repeatedly, okay, but 1 time should be enough.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Thank you. Sayyidina, is it compulsory for other people around the world to sacrifice on Eid al-Adha if they are not on Hajj?
It is not compulsory for every Muslim, every mu'min to sacrifice. Qurbani is obligatory only on those who are performing Hajj. Only those Hajis who are in Mina on the day of Eid, it is obligatory as one of the wajib, obligatory acts of Hajj to do the Qurbani. But those Muslims who are not in Mina, not in Hajj, it is recommended for them to do Qurbani, not obligatory. And Qurbani is recommended not one time, every year. It is recommended every year for those who are not performing Hajj. And even if someone has already performed Hajj in the past, and now he is in his country, in his town, and on the day of Eid, it is recommended for him to make a qurbani, and that is a recommended act, and the qurbani should be given to the poor people and to your friends, and part of it you eat it yourself. Allah in the Quran says, فَكُلُوا مِنْهَا وَأَطْعِمُوا الْبَائِسَ الْفَقِيرَ. Eat from it, not like some people think that qurbani you cannot eat. No, you can. It is mentioned in the Quran, فَكُلُوا مِنْهَا. Eat from it. Your own qurbani. Qurbani is not aqiqah. Aqiqah is different. You know, aqiqah is the animal that we slaughter after the birth of any child on the 7th day. Aqiqah we should not eat, especially the parents. Especially parents should not eat. But it is not haram. Not haram. It is recommended. I mean, it is makruh for the parents to eat from the meat of the aqiqah. But qurbani is not aqiqah. Qurbani is the slaughter that the animal, which you can slaughter with the sheep, goat, cow, camel, and that animal should be 3 parts. Part out of it you eat, you and your family. فَكُلُوا مِنْهَا. Then other part to your friends, and the other part to the poor people.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, is it appropriate for a husband to want his wife to live in his family home despite living with his brother's wives, which is non-mahram?
Please, again.
Yes, Sayyidina.
Please, again and loudly, let me understand the question. Is it compulsory?
No, so is it appropriate for a husband to want his wife to live in his family, to want his wife to live in his family house despite living with his brother's wife, which is non-mahram?
Okay. You see, in one side, the wife should always help her husband to be a good son for his parents. Wife should never do anything to instigate her husband against the wish of his parents. As you know that many wives, they want to live free in their own house, not with the in-laws. But as far as the parents of her husband need him to be with them, then the responsibility of a noble wife, good wife, a wife who has got faith in God, to always encourage and help and support her husband to be good son for his parents. Number 2, it is compulsory on the husband to maintain the dignity of his wife and not to expose his wife to his brother who is living with them. I mean, the hijab of his wife is compulsory on her, and husband is responsible to protect his wife and be sure that his wife is not being seen but by his brother without proper hijab.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, how do you change your days? Normally every day seems like a routine. You wake up, you go to work, you come back. and the next day is the same. Sayyidina, how can it bring excitement? Of course, thinking about Allah, thinking about the 14 Ma'asumeen helps you, but how do you make each day exciting, interesting, without getting bored, without wasting your time, Sayyidina? The best way to make your 24.
Okay. There are many options in life. Doing the same job, but you have got lot of time and lot of activities you can be involved in. So if you manage your time properly and keep on changing the day and night program in an interesting way, you will not be bored at all. It depends how you manage the time from morning till the end of the day. In writing, say if you go to work 9 to 5, you have got time before 9 and you have got time after 5. What you want to do before 9 and what you want to do after 5, it depends on you. If you manage your time, putting interesting items in it, you will see that you are not bored. So the answer is, try to manage your time yourself in a proper way and keep on changing the items every week or every 10 days or every 2 weeks according to what you wish. And when you change, you will taste the change and enjoy different things in different times. So the solution briefly is time management. Time management. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, my family follows the Sunni school of thought, but I follow the Ahlebait. They are unaware of my beliefs. Should it be my responsibility to inform them about my religious path? How would God view my decision to keep this information to myself?
My brother, thousands of people, I can say millions of people who believe in the truth, but because of their circumstances, they keep it between them and God. When there is a possibility of harm or danger or torture or disturbance if they disclose their faith, there are a lot of people who believe in Islam in their hearts, but they don't come out in front of their families because they know that it will disturb their life. Many people believe that Ahlul Bayt are the real Islam, but for reasons they keep it between Allah and themselves. I tell you, if you have a reasonable possibility of harm, if you disclose your faith to your family member, then don't disclose your faith. Keep it between you and Allah, and you will get extra reward because of your suffering, because you are suffering without the support of your family. On the contrary, there is a danger from your families if you disclose. Don't disclose your faith when you have a reasonable possibility of harm. If you disclose, that is what we call it taqiyya. Taqiyya is to behave with wisdom. To behave with wisdom. If you know that disclosing any fact will expose you to harm, then don't expose yourself to harm, and keep your faith between you and Allah. Of course, you have to perform all the obligatory acts secretly in a way that your family members should not discover, but don't come openly and disclose to them something which might lead making you face harmful consequences.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, the question is regarding the reality of Ilm Najum and Ilm Ja'far. And is it possible that we could see the coming time?
Ilm Najum and Ilm Ja'far. And is it possible to
see the coming time, to see the future?
No. Number one, Ilm Najum is a science. Ilm Ja'far is a different science. Claiming Ilm Ja'far is something which is not easy, because it is one of the fields of knowledge which were being granted to Ahlebait. عندنا كتاب الجفر. Ahlebait, from them the narration came that Jafar is with us. So those who claim that they know Jafar, they are responsible to prove that. So we say that we are not responsible to go in things which are not our responsibility. We are responsible to get the knowledge about halal and haram, the tafsir of Quran, the meanings of Quranic verses as much as we can understand, the jurisprudence, the fiqh, means the Islamic rules on our day-to-day matters. But to go in Jafar or Ilm Najum is not our responsibility. And we know that many people who claim knowing Jafar are not really knowledgeable in Jafar. They claim something. Not all of them are really having Jafar, after reading in their narration that Jafar is a special knowledge granted by Allah to Ahlul Bayt. That is the real Jafar. So, in short, we should focus on things which help us to become better servants of Allah, the Prophet, and Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam, and leave aside things which have nothing to do with our improvement of our humble behavior, obedience, piousness. We must focus on things which make us better believers. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, what is the rule of custody of daughter according to Islamic Sharia when the divorce has taken place?
Depends on the age of the daughter. If the daughter is still 2 years, for example, the custody remains with the mother. The custody remains with the mother. If the daughter is 2 years, according to different opinions of the Maraji of Taqlid, for sure that the daughter of 2 years custody is with the mother. If the daughter is more, say 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 or more, I advise that she should refer to the marja of taqlid that she follows, and the marja will tell her about the custody, but the mother must obey Allah. When the Sharia tells her that custody is for the father, for example, and the non-Islamic court tells her that you have the right of custody, she must obey Allah. The real believer obeys Allah, even if it goes from outside against what she wishes. We must obey Allah always, whether it helps us as we think or it goes against us as we think. Of course, at the end, everything which is from Allah is in our favor, in our interest. So she has to refer to the marji' of taqlid.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, question is that what is the reality of this in a religion, that when you say money is by the wife's luck and children is by the husband's luck? Is there a reality or basis of that in the religion? So money is by wife's luck.
Money is the wife's luck.
And the children are the husband's luck.
Okay, that is something which has been said. It has been said. No doubt we have got in the narrations, in the hadith, that Allah sends barakat because of the wife. The hadith says, تزوجوا للرزق فإن فيهن بركة. Get married, you will get rizq, sustenance, because Allah has kept the barakat of sustenance in the wife. Means for the wife. Your wife is a reason of your blessings and sustenance. That is in the narrations. Children is because of the husband. If a man does not have children, he should never blame his wife, as many jahil people do. Many jahil people, when they don't have children, they try to blame or hint or make something that's because of because of her. No, it is because of you. The hadith says, إِنَّمَا هُنَّ وِعَاء, means it is because of you. Don't blame her. If Allah wants to grant you children, Allah will grant you. Don't blame your innocent wife. You don't blame your innocent wife for not having children at all. That is unfair, and it is against justice to do that. Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Sayyidina, we've come to the end of the show. If you can finish off with a few more words of wisdom for the last few seconds, please.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. It is good to remind ourselves that now we have about 2 months from the end of the last month of Ramadan. How we used to recite Quran in the month of Ramadan, and how did we recite Quran in these 2 months, Shawwal and Dhul-Qa'dah? Because we need to recite Quran every day. We have got a narration that the pious companions of the Prophet and Ahlebait used to recite Quran one juz, one sipara every day. Means they recite the whole Quran in 1 month. Every day, one sipara, which is, the whole Quran is 30 siparas. So every day, about half an hour or 35 minutes, you can recite the whole sipara. Keep in mind, when you recite Quran, give the reward of the recitation to the Imam, alayhi salam, and to all Ahlul Bayt and your parents. That will make your reward more and more. Walhamdulillah. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.